Obayozo goes to school with a mask. With his classmates, he puts on the mask of a playful and cheerful young man, always clowning around, and with his teachers, he puts on the mask of a smart kid, but never so smart as to stand out. The lingering trauma of past abuse and persisting feelings of alienation and hatred have made it impossible for him to reveal his true self to others. He is tired of other human beings, and in this fear, he slowly plunges into sociopathic behaviors and thought processes. Certain aspects of this dark manga will hit close to home for many, and for others it will be quite triggering as it deals with very dark themes. For yet others, it will leave them speechless. This is a tale of despair that is devoid of any happiness. After her third suicide attempt, Juri Muto is invited by her aunt Monica, a member of the clergy, to visit Yu, a convict on death sentence she often sends letters to. When they meet, Juri and Yu are perplexed by each other's point of view and outlooks on life. They begin a sort of friendship through both dialogues and letters, which will give rise to multiple questions and introspections on life, death, love, and pain. This work is a beautiful short manga that is bound to submerge you into an emotional, powerful, and depressing world through the mature and painful exchange of its characters. This one is almost overly dramatic, and it will make you stop midway and wonder if these kinds of things actually happen in real life. Here, the author makes use of a lot of typically shocking or dramatic content to get her point across. So make sure your heart and eyes are ready for what you're about to embark on. The plot follows Ayu, a 17-year-old girl devoid of any hope of a future. She finds her heart lacking in joy, love, or even pain, and starts to engage in explicit work, trying to find a fleeting sense of existence by selling her body. You asked for drama, tragedy, depression, receive it, my listener. This manga comes with all the tags. Sensitive souls who don't want their souls to end up in a dumpster scroll for something more heartwarming. Fellow people who like to hurt their heart in very dramatic and almost obnoxious ways, read this manga. This isn't a deep or particularly well-crafted work. The majority of the time it will feel like the author googled tragic things that can happen to a teenager and decided to include them all throughout her chapters. The drama will feel a bit out there, but if there's anything the last couple of years have taught us, it's that yes, it can get worse, even if you're already living in Dante's Inferno. Hell has plenty of circles. Nagisa is a middle schooler who is already projecting herself into adulthood due to her family's circumstances. One day, Mokuzu transfers into her school and whimsically declares that she wants to become friends with her. From that cliché start, the plot will gradually reveal many layers as both of the girls' home lives get unveiled. As friendships blossom between them, they both let out to each other their fear of loneliness and opening up. The painful bonding they have to their family, their fear of isolation, rejection, and growing up. Both characters exist in different pains that they don't know how to escape from. There is no padding to the sad story and no use of over-the-top drama. Things are as they are, bittersweet and painful. Bokurano follows a group of middle school students who are tasked with piloting a humanoid-type mecha, Zerf, to defend their city from monster invasions. Don't be put off by the sci-fi elements. Bokurano's primary focus is that of psychological trauma. As each student gets to turn at piloting the mecha, the author dives deep into their psyche, deconstructing key moments in their lives and fleshing them out to a degree where every relevant detail is put forth in the panels, regardless of the brutality of its depiction. The meaninglessness of life is explored through different visceral tales that will grip your heart and crush it. Let's start with the fact that this title is very misleading. The story this manga portrays is not carnal, but actually hauntingly tragic. The narrative follows high school student Daisuke as he falls in love with Hinako, a girl in his class with an incredibly brutal and traumatic past. Showcasing both the hideous side of human nature as well as the bright and beautiful one, this manga intertwines terrible aspects of life with a coming-of-age romance. Not for the faint-hearted, Bitter Virgin will make you well up with tears. Rainbow follows the incarceration of 7 minors as they struggle to survive in a new hellish environment ruled by masochistic and sociopathic officers and doctors. Despite the almost insurmountable physical and mental traumas thrown their ways on a daily basis, the characters continue to choose to move and fight for their survival, never giving up, forging an invincible and extraordinary friendship among themselves. Kusunoki finds himself having spent his life uneventfully and being short on cash at the ripe age of 20. As he sells the rest of his belongings to a bookshop keeper, he is informed by the owner of a store specializing in the purchase of life spam, time, and health. Going to the address he is provided with, Kusunoki manages to sell 30 years of his life and find himself with only 3 months left to live. 3 days of happiness follows the remaining of these 3 months as he gets taken on a whirlwind of emotions, from the pure ecstatic delight he finds in financial freedom to the confrontation of all of his lingering regrets. This short manga manages to explore many themes of mortality, loneliness, emptiness, and fulfillment. It is thought-provoking, yet simple and easily digestible. 5 cm per second is the perfect depressing manga to read for anyone who really likes the feeling of onion slices simmering in their eyeballs and their tear ducts transforming into waterfalls. It depicts the story of Takaki Tono and Akari Shinohara, childhood friends who, as they gradually transform into lovers, find themselves separated by physical distance due to life's random circumstances. This manga manages to perfectly encompass the multitude of feelings of young love, from the anxiety of confession to the light-hearted joy one feels when close to their person. It also manages to portray long-distance relationship in full realism. Romance is interlocked to tragedy and delight to pain. The short work of art will tug at every corner of your heart.